Alright, so my name is Jared Barron, and I did the speech over Carnival. Carnival is the biggest cruise line in the world. It was founded in 1972 by Ted Arison. It first started off as a private business, is now the largest brand owned by Carnival Corporation and PLC. Carnival's most distinctive feature would be its red, white, and blue whale-shaped fin. It's on top of every ship. Carnival is aimed towards it's being like a shorter and more budget-friendly type of cruise. So the first ship I should say that Carnival had was the TSS Mardi Gras. Sailed from 1972 to 1993. After the ship debuted, Carnival purchased two other ships and named them Carnival and Festival. Both of those ships have now left the fleet in the 1990s. Carnival introduced a new build named Tropical in 1982. The ship is similar to today's ship, but since it's left the fleet in 2001, so it's no longer part of Carnival. After that, Carnival only built customized ships, gradually increasing the size each time. Some of the new builds were Holiday, Jubilee, and Celebration. Sadly, all four of these ships left the Carnival fleet from 2001 to 2009. The longest ship to be with Carnival is the Carnival Fantasy. It launched in 1990, which makes it 28 years old. Carnival made history in 1996 when they launched Carnival Destiny, which was at the time the largest passenger cruise ship in the world. The ship was also the first to exceed 100,000 tonnage. After that, the ships in Carnival just got bigger and bigger, and it became more popular. Carnival's mission statement is to consistently deliver fun, memorable vacations at a great value. Carnival constantly focuses on ensuring that each guest find the fun that fits them best. They're always adding new restaurants, events, and shows to their ships. They regularly upgrade their ships and add a new ship to the fleet roughly every 2 years. This year, 2018, is the Carnival Horizon. Goes out of Miami. Carnival employs over 120,000 employees worldwide and serves more than 11.5 million passengers a year. Carnival consists of 25 ships operating 1,500 voyages annually. Carnival goes on to say that memorable vacations begin with their extraordinary team members on each ship. Their team members are extremely dedicated to delivering the best quality service and hospitality to our guests each and every day. Their workers deliver a personal connection between Carnival and the guests, which means the team members are Carnival. The financial position of Carnival. Carnival posted $2.8 billion profit on the fiscal year that ended in November 30, 2016. That was mainly caused by higher ticket prices and increased onboard spending, such as the spa or restaurants that aren't included in the ship, like the cruise price. Also, Carnival found a way to reduce costs for building their ships. 2.8 billion profit is an increase of 1.8 billion profit in 2015. So in 2016 they made 2.8 billion in that quarter, and then they made 1.8 billion in 2015. So they went up $1 billion basically. The full year revenue was 16.4 billion in 2016, up from 15.7 billion in the 2015. So that went up almost $1 billion too. The fourth quarter profit was 609 million as opposed to 270 million the prior year. So that went up probably about 2 times, 2.5. Carnival achieved the most profitable year in the company history, as well as the record fourth quarter earnings in 2016. Carnival expects booking volumes to grow every year, in part to their increasing fleet and sizes of ships. Carnival expects their market share to increase every quarter from now on. They got a bright future. 5 of the major ratios I picked was liquidity was number 1. 2 was solvency, which is debt to equity ratio. 3 would be the activity or the working capital. 4 would be profitability or the profit margin. And 5 is operating or labor cost. The current ratio of Carnival in 2018 is 0.19, which is actually on the lower side. Ideal rates for healthy companies is between 1 and 3, and Carnival's 0.19. So this basically means that if Carnival won't be able to pay its short-term liabilities with its short-term assets if they had to pay them right now. So that's not too good. The second one I did was solvency, which is debt to equity. Debt to equity ratio is used to show a company's financial leverage. The debt to equity ratio for Carnival is 0.39. This was found by taking the current portion of long-term debt added to the long-term debt and capital lease obligation divided by the total equity. During the past 13 years, the highest debt to equity rate was 1.24, and the lowest was 0.12. So they're like right in the middle. Number 3, I did activity, which is working capital. Working capital in the quarter 1 was 128. Quarter 2 was 998. Quarter 3 went down 767, and quarter 4 went up 40. So working capital is a measure of company's short-term liquidity. It is defined as a company's current assets and current liabilities. Carnival has a working capital of $432 million, and in 2018, the working capital of Carnival has already gone up, with quarter 1 being 161, so it's going up. Number 4 is the profit margin, which is 9.24%, which is actually pretty good. It appears, and the profit margin always is high in August and is really low in February, mainly due to cruises have a season. Basically, like summer, of course, is the biggest season, so every August their profit margin's way up there. And February it's really low because in the winter a lot of people don't take cruises, and if they do, the prices are really dropping. The labor cost, not much is found on the labor cost because I couldn't find anything actually because they abide by maritime laws, and Carnival doesn't want people knowing that, but they do. So the conclusion, according to the equation, assets minus liability, stockholders' equity. Carnival's stockholders' equity is $24.38 billion for 2018. The short-term current ratio are not able to pay their. This is from solvency debt to equity is 0.39, which is pretty low actually. Activity, working capital, profitability, recommendation. Here's some of my recommendations. I think Carnival should continue to push out a new ship every 2 years. This would increase sales and increase passenger size too. Carnival should continue to abide by maritime laws to keep labor costs down, which is not ethical, but legally there is no issue, so Carnival will still profit from this. Carnival should go into other countries such as Cuba and China. This will increase ticket sales all across the world, and it will interest more people across the world. Carnival should continue to do what they're doing now. The company seems to be in a good place. Stocks are rising, debt's going down, and overall the company performance is great. The future of Carnival, I believe, is a bright future. Their goodwill cost right now is over $2 billion, which is extremely well. This shows the strength of Carnival's brand names. If Carnival keeps adding new ships and does exactly what they're doing, they're going to have a bright future. While Carnival has ability, they're doing the country in the future. And the future of Carnival is going to be a bright one.